Good morning, everyone. You watching us on the morning show with me, Sharina, and my partner.
Hi there, I'm Satyantika.
It is a good day today, isn't it? We finally meet you again, and we will accompany you in the next 15 minutes with an interesting and hot topic. While you are enjoying your breakfast and coffee, let's first talk about our morning today. And let me do it first. This morning, I have to rush to prepare all of my breakfast for my family because I wake up late. And also, I have to prepare myself to go to the show. But finally, everything turns out well. And as you can see, I am so ready for this show. And how about you, Sapti? Tell us about your morning today.
Yeah, well, we all sometimes have a bad morning, right? But my morning today is absolutely perfect. I wake up before my phone's alarm rings and I enjoy the fresh air. And I even do some short yoga to stretch my body. Also made a cup of coffee to start my day. Anyway, we hope that all of you who watching this show have a good morning and ready to start your day. Okay, let's move on to the hot topic that we are going to discuss this morning. And before that, let's watch this short videotape.
To South Florida now, where a storm dumped nearly a foot of rain, causing widespread flash flooding and danger. This no-name storm didn't go unnoticed in South Florida, drenching some neighborhoods in Miami-Dade County.
A lot of the heavy rain occurred very early Saturday morning around Miami, near the coastline, almost a foot of rain.
A night on the town ended underwater as these drivers in the Brickell neighborhood quickly became stranded. Some tried to press through the wall of water, and even parked cars were seen bobbing in the waves. Come daylight, video from Miami-Dade Fire Rescue shows crews using a high water vehicle to get residents out of their flooded homes and on to higher ground.
It is very sad that we have to hear this news this morning, as the news report that parts of Florida were beaten with heavy rain and wind last night as storm system that had attacked Mexico moves across the state. The National Hurricane Center in Miami said the storm launched known as Agatha in the Pacific Ocean in the Atlantic Ocean basin it reaches tropical storm status.
According to the National Hurricane Center, as of 5 p.m., a tropical storm warning had been discontinued for Florida's east coast, but it was still in effect for the northwestern Bahamas and Bermuda. They also mentioned that the storm's center was located about 40 miles northeast of Fort Pierce, Florida. The storm is expected to reach tropical storm strength off the east coast of Florida by last night.
Levine Cava, as the country mayor, said public services such as bus and trains plan to operate a normal over the weekend. Canal levels in South Florida have been lowered to minimize flooding from heavy rain. Some travelers were facing flight delay as well. The Atlantic hurricane season officially began Tuesday. This is an unusually early to start to the storm season, and this is never happening before.
The National Hurricane Center predicts that rainfall up to 10 inches is possible in South Florida. The storm is not expected to produce huge winds or major storm wave, but local flooding is likely. Well, to discuss this further, now we are having three speakers that we are expecting to give an explanation about this phenomenon. First, we have the representative of the National Disaster Management Agency. Please welcome Mr. Fasel. We'd like you to introduce yourself.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Fasel, the representative of National Disaster Management Agency. It is nice to be here. We provide guidelines and direction for disaster management efforts, which include disaster prevention, handling of disaster emergencies, and rehabilitation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And for our second speaker, we have a representative of the Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics Council. Good morning, Miss. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
Thank you for the change. Good morning, everyone. I'm Indah, as the representative of the Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics Council. In this council, we carry out government duties and in the fields of meteorology, climatology, air quality, and geophysics in accordance with the provisions of applicable laws and regulations. Glad to be here.
Thank you. And for the last speaker that we invite, she is one of the local citizens that was affected by this flooding disaster. We are so sorry for everything that has happened to you. Can you introduce yourself to people here, Mrs. Ufik?
Yes, thank you for inviting me. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ufi. I'm a local citizen and I will share my experience regarding this phenomenon.
Thank you very much for all the speakers. And let's talk about the general opinion. According to the news, now I would like to ask the opinion of our guest here. As the representative of National Disaster Management Agency, what do you think about this issue, Sir Fasel?
Thank you for the time. As we know, heavy rains and winds struck parts of Florida caused by the storm that struck Mexico and moved across the state. The storm is also unpredicted in Florida. Therefore, in the event of a major hurricane like this, the general public in Florida advised to pay attention from the National Hurricane Center in Miami and follow the guidance from my team.
Okay, thank you for the answer. And now let's move on to the next guest. Mrs. Indah, do you have any opinion about this incident?
I think it is unpleasant news for us. Although we can see climate predictions every day because of technological development, a storm like that is rarely predictable. Yeah, I think it is better to stay wary when the climate change is about to come. We cannot just believe in the climate predictions. I mean, it is good to always know about the climate prediction, but it is better to also have vigilance in ourselves. Moreover, when an incident like this was happening, it is better to have the vigilance when we close to climate change season.
We have heard the opinion from the representative of the government, and now we would like to hear the opinion from Mrs. Ufik. As the representative of local citizens, what is your opinion relating to the last incident?
So, this was new to us because there had never been a rainstorm that caused a flood like this before. Therefore, a lot of us have no idea what's really going on in Miami.
Okay, let's talk about a more specific question. First, we would like to ask Ms. Inda as the head of the Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics Council. What is actually the specific reason that caused this flood incident?
As you said earlier, that these incidents happened because the rain came before the rainy seasons came as usual. It could lead to heavy rain, thunderstorms, as well as hurricane, and it causes flooding in Florida and Miami areas. Maybe it's quite difficult for us because it is unpredictable. I think these incidents, especially the heap of garbage, is one of the causes of the flooding height. The leap of garbage blocks the rains of flooding and makes the flooding higher. And of course, it makes it more difficult for us. As we see in the video before, the flooding made people difficult to drive their cars on the road, making them difficult walking to everywhere around the city, etc.
Is there any suggestion to our citizen out there regarding to this issue?
Well, first of all, perhaps this incident can happen again next time in the southern region of the USA. It is better for the citizens as well as government preparing themselves to avoid this incident, like place to accommodate people who being the victim of flooding. They must start to be ready when the rainy seasons will come, and the people whose job is informing about climate or also known as climatologists must always inform and warn people about the climate when the rainy seasons will come, whether the heavy rain or the hurricane is about to come. So people who can save themselves from the incident like that and the handling for the incident as well as the victim will be easier. Last but not least, people also must have the awareness for taking their garbage in its place so that it's not make more problem when the flooding like that is happening.
Okay, now let's move on to Mr. Fasel. From of the National Disaster Management Agency, how do you manage this issue? What are steps that you and your team took to deal with this incident?
For me and my team, we will tell what the disaster is and warn civilians about the imminent disaster so they can prepare to evacuate themselves, and we will help them to evacuate if the situation gets worsens.
Do you have any resolution or the things that you want to improve after you dealing with this incident?
For me and my team, we can only help people and we don't have power to change the weather. So we think the one that must improve is the drainage system. So that if there's a big storm like that again, there will be no flooding.
Okay, for the last, for Miss Ufik, do you think this incident bring any impact on you and other citizens around the area? If yes, would you mind to explain it to us?
Yeah, of course, the current flood affects our daily activities. The depth of the flood is not that high, but it's enough to break down so many cars and it forced us to park our cars away from the flood area. Unfortunately, too many cars have been swamped on the road and the flow of traffic has become uncontrollable. Moreover, relentless rains and storms also caused a big tree in a region to fall, striking down a home of nearby residents.
What is your opinion or critiques that you want to deliver to the government or disaster management agency or to everyone watching this talk show?
So I would just like to point out that help like medicine or food will be helpful for us, the people who were affected. And for the government, please send a couple of tow cars to move the broken down cars line the road so that they don't block another oncoming vehicle. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Okay, everyone. Now we have come to the end of this talk show, and we want to say thank you to all of the guests and to all of the participants for joining these discussions.
And for all the people who watch this, we just want to say that love the earth and it will love you back.
Nature never tells lie. That is why we have to take care of it carefully. I am Satyantika and my partner.
I am Sharina. Thank
Thank you
you
so
so
much,
much, and we
and
will
we'll meet again in the next episode. Goodbye,
bye.
everyone.